What's going on, everybody? We're back. Sorry we missed last week. I had to take a work trip, which I had a lot of fun, work and leisure. So we're back. I told you guys we'd be back. For those who tune in every week, appreciate it.
We are back.
We're definitely back. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And this episode is brought to you by In-N-Out.
In-N-Out, yes, In-N-Out. If you can sponsor us and give us a couple burgers, we'd love to review your burger against like Baker's or Five Guys and settle this. Your burger is your burger really the best burger on the market? You can only make that possible by giving us some free
What's
shit.
the East Coast equivalent?
Five Guys.
Is it Five Guys? I thought it was the other one. The
White Castle?
No.
Whataburger?
No, I forgot the name. I know there's one in Vegas now too, but I can't remember the.
Fat Burger?
No, not Fat Burger. I forgot.
Yeah.
Anyway, I tried it in Vegas. I'm like, what the hell? It doesn't taste any good.
Is this what the East Coast calls a burger? Disgusting. But no, I know what you mean. I think it's on the Strip. I think me and a couple friends saw MC Hammer there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It was like all the older crowd that was going up to him like, it's fucking MC Hammer, what the hell? Who cares? But anyways, back to the lecture at hand. Today we're drinking Kilt Lifter, Scottish style amber ale. So malty toasted love. But anyways, I was kind of feeling something. We're starting to cool down a little bit. You start getting those. Your palate starts asking for something that's a little bit more on the. Is
this supposed to be a seasonal beer?
I don't think so.
It's by Four Peaks Brewing, by the way.
They've put out some good beer, actually.
Yeah.
Here, guys.
Because it does remind me of, what was I telling you? Sam Adams, a little bit.
Yeah.
I like the maltiness. I like malty beers. This is definitely a little malt forward. I like it.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoy it. So today, so like I said, I took a work trip and I ended up in DC. I always say I took a wrong left and I ended up in the capital. And just a quick little rundown on that. It was pretty fucking fascinating, like I told you before. It was one of those things. I'm glad I did it. Got it out the list. Will I do it again? Maybe. But just seeing the monuments, the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, didn't find the Obama Monument, but I definitely found everything else. And then I found the Capitol and the White House. Just taking a look at it, man. Like I was telling you earlier, you see those armed guards dude with the AR-15 there just waiting for a motherfucker to cross so you can just, go home and have something to talk about. But anyway, so I was selling that. And then you look at this stuff and then you kind of get in the whole American, land of the free, the whole thing. And yes, it's heartwarming, it touches you in different places, but not the sexual places, but different places.
Was it Clinton?
He wasn't there. Oh, but you get the point. So, but then you start realizing these are the people that are making the laws for the rest of the country. The rest of the country abides at a federal level through these laws, obviously at state levels too for a lot of these laws. But then you kind of see through it, and then you realize what you see on TV with all these debates and all these congressional hearings about this and that and all the bull crap that just goes with it. Little kids can't even come to a certain understanding for the greater good. They can't, and so you start, and then you almost get a little bit of a disgust that we claim, or people claim, to live in the best nation in the world, which that's all subjective. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know, but we can't even get a good plan for like the greater good, and no one's happy anymore. Yeah.
Well, the problem with that is that
here we go, wise art.
No, it's not even that, but it's like I said before. Many things are cyclical, and we are at a point in humanity and in this nation that things are turning again. As we've seen, that's why we're seeing all this division. And if you study history, you go back to when Greece was a powerful nation, democracy, and all that.
But they reigned for a while.
No, they did. But it started with shit like this.
Yeah.
Rome, the same thing. When you start seeing like too much division like this for obvious or not obvious reasons, but for strong reasons. In this case, like the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. That's one of the things. Everyone is starting to resent that, and slowly they starting to push. The problem with all this is that, yeah, if things aren't fixed, then we will go to another extreme where dictatorship is gonna happen eventually. I'm not even saying like in my lifetime. I'm just saying that if it continues going the way it is, that's just a natural progression of human governance. That's what happens. So it can be, a decade from now. It can be half a century from now. But if nothing changes in these fundamental, strong places, then yeah, that is going to be right. what happens next.
No, definitely.
So I agree with you on the whole fact that, yeah, it's definitely disgusting. Politics have always been disgusting because, it's politics.
Yeah, politics is not so much, in my opinion, it's, we've talked about, it's not so much about policy, it's about power and who has it at the time. Another thing, I went to the White House, obviously. I took a photo of where Pablo Escobar took a photo with him and his son. Pretty freaking amazing. So for all you Trump lovers or haters, peep this one. So I don't think when I FaceTimed you, I don't think you were understanding what I was saying. So we couldn't get close up to the gate because there's a gate around, obviously, the White House. They're making it bigger. So when Trump said build the wall, I realized I don't think he's talking about the Mexican wall. I thought he was talking about the wall, the border around the White House. Because that's clearly, they're adding at least another 5 feet to it. So, and it's like a thicker steel, it almost looks like column. So, I mean, he's getting a wall regardless. So I started laughing at that, and I was just, listen, it's so silly. It's so silly. I'm like laughing at it, and people out there with the propaganda, Trump is the devil. Okay, maybe he is. Maybe he is. Maybe for a slight chance, maybe he is. Okay, let's get over that. Now, but you if you're not against it, you are for it. Propaganda, you are what's wrong with America. Like, what the listen, dude, I pay my taxes, stay out of trouble. I think I'm an American. I do what I'm supposed to do. I carry my own. I don't agree with that. So that kind of stuff pisses me off. So then, I went into this little, I think it's it's like a little museum of the White House and, the different presidents, everything explains all this good stuff. And I come across the Abraham Lincoln one. And then I started thinking to myself, literally about 150 years ago, people were still enslaved. Other human beings were looked at less than human. And now we're right here in 2019, and we're bitching about things that those people back there would have slapped the living crap out of us, whether Republican or liberal or Democrat. And we're fucking it up real good.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that also I immediately was like, yeah, we have it wrong. We have it all wrong. It's all wrong. And then now, check this out. And then on the way back, I come up across a little article. It looks like Portland passed something, a bill or some sort of legislature that, they're allocating $195 million into turning a government building, and they're taking all the urinals and they're putting toilets, right?
So it's all for gender equality?
Yeah, basically gender neutral stuff. So can you imagine, man? We've gone from just wanting to be free to fucking, there's not enough, this isn't equal. Like,
well, then there's the other part that goes along with what I just said earlier.
What's that?
Freedom and equality are opposing forces. We cannot have both.
Yep.
That's something that I don't think a lot of people understand. Equality, you need to force equality.
Make that very clear, because I want to highlight this. Make that very clear about what you're just saying right now. I think it's a very
It's not even my thoughts.
No, it's not yours, but that point. Just make it very clear.
Equality and freedom, I reversed it, just in case you didn't catch that. Equality and freedom are opposing forces. They cannot work together. So people, if you are bitching about equality, just understand that your freedom is gonna go away if it so happens that we reach equality, because that's the whole thing with communism. Communism. That's what people were. The revolution in Russia, for example, that's what it was. It was they turned it into communism, and where everyone was supposed to be equal, but now you can't do anything. You don't have any freedom to be the person that you want to be. So again, like, just make sure you guys understand that if you are fighting for one thing or the other, like, you can't have both. They're completely opposites.
And if anyone's taken or knows about anything about economics, you understand that there's two sides to every story. Like they say, they can't give a straightforward on one hand or the other, right? And there's always a positive and a negative. There's always opportunity cost loss there or gain. It just again, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And that's the thing. That's the hard thing that I have with people. And what should be this way and this way. Yes, I understand. Look, are we all for it? Yes, we all want to at least have equal abilities, not abilities, equal opportunities. And yes, but what does that even mean? What does that mean? Equal this, equal that. And once we loosely start, the lines aren't clear anymore.
No, then and one thing is equal opportunity. Equal opportunity, again, that is, you have the opportunity just as I do to achieve whatever based on.
It might be a little harder for one or another, but yes.
But at that point it comes down to how much you're willing to work for it, and the type of the talents you already have possessed naturally, or however you acquire those talents. So at that point, yeah, like, you're both competing for something, right? But if you are forced to be equal, then if you're more talented than I am, now you are suppressed. Your talents are being suppressed, because now you're going to be like I am.
So listen, I can't play basketball like LeBron James, but if I just decided to be in the NBA and they had to dumb down LeBron James for me to be able to compete and be equal, that would not be good. You guys would not be okay with that. You guys would ban the NBA. You guys wouldn't watch it.
But the whole like WNBA and the regular NBA.
It's like these athletes, dude, that do the transgender stuff, and like when men go and compete in women's sports, those men who they blow shit out of the water. It's almost cheating. But then they just fail to see that. And when you don't really see too many women that convert into men competing in it, because they just don't even stand a chance.
Exactly.
So again, just be careful.
The natural way of things is the survival of the fittest. Whoever is the best at whatever it is, they're gonna go on top. That's just the natural way of things, And if you want to change it to make everyone feel good and all that and make it equal, then obviously you're going to start suppressing that. And that has its own complications. So, because what was that other, I think it was a law. Was it a law that just recently passed somewhere in one of the states, or a state or county or whatever, that you can't use illegal aliens anymore?
Yo, I know this. This is the shit that gets you worked up.
That's a fact, right?
Yeah. Or not fact checkers.
I didn't dream it.
Yeah, no, you're not dreaming. And those are the stuff that gets you worked up. And yeah, man. So now and again, if for those of you who know, the Jordan Peterson, doctor, is he a doctor? Doctor.
Yeah, he has to be a PhD.
Yeah, Dr. Jordan Peterson and in his discipline talked about, and I guess he's like, that's fine on a personal level. I can call you whatever you want to be called. He had no problem with that. But when law and the state tell you what you can and can't say, be careful. And and his thing is, it shouldn't be right. But I think the premise of his whole argument is be careful, because once they start doing that, we have entered a whole different realm of things that even the people that want this aren't ready for.
They're gonna regret it,
and that is fact.
Because like, for those who don't know him, he's a Canadian guy who became famous because he stood up against the fact that they made a law in Canada that he couldn't use the word or the pronoun, like he or she,
gender specific pronouns.
Yeah, right. So because of that, he stood up and was against it, not against the fact that there's transgender or any of that. It's just the fact that the government is starting to create these laws of what we can say and what we cannot say. And I think once you do get to that point, yeah, it's definitely like people are gonna start regretting it eventually because it's not gonna get like it's not gonna turn into what people think it's gonna turn into.
It'll swallow even the most of liberal it'll swallow you whole. Trust me, it's gonna happen. And I think when we talked a little earlier, what did I tell you? So I'm on the airplane, right? And then I'm having trouble putting up I'm just using my normal just kind of strength. It's not going in. So
your luggage up
my luggage up in the luggage rack of the airplane. So I'm a fucking man, and I'll say it, and I just gave it a little bit extra strength, and I put it in there, and I put it in there a little aggressively, and then they kind of look at me like, and then I said, sometimes you just gotta manhandle shit, and I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that, and I actually, because I had a couple drinks, and I actually made a point. I was like, oh, I forgot, I'm in an airplane full of LA liberals, and they're all kind of like chuckling, kind of laughing. So I'm like, all right, cool. At least I'm not gonna get fucking killed on this airplane ride back home. And then, anyways, so I sit down and I put my strap, and then I'm the aisle seat, the middle seat's taken, and then the window seats it's full. So the lady that's gonna go there, I already have my thing ready to go, and I'm like, oh, I apologize, and then I'm like taking out my thing. I jumped the gun, and I'm like, oh. So I jumped the gun. So it's a regular schmegular. We've all probably used it in our lifetime, and it really didn't mean much more than just, guess what, we got ahead of ourselves. So I started thinking a little bit more of it, and I'm like, man, it's crazy that we've gotten to the point where we can't use certain everyday speech because we got to be sensitive now. And the thing is, I don't give a damn. I say what I say, and I'm gonna do it. But when it's got people like me even thinking about that's in the back of our heads, it can't be good.
It's not.
It cannot be good.
Yeah. And I think like right now, society is pushing that. These liberal snowflakes are pushing that. But the thing is that if they push it enough, it's going to become law.
Yeah.
And that is when, again, be careful what people wish for, especially these snowflakes. Like, please just understand that, because it's not good for anyone when language is starting to be,
well, this is the thing, though. It like you're talking about law. There's already kind of like a social law kind of thing. If you go to these ultra progressive places, there's already like a social law, and they either get after you for doing something, or they come after you for not complying or doing something and not being what do they call it? Not being tolerant. But it's like the most claimed tolerant or the most intolerant about things, right? Because they should be appreciating. You know what?
Right.
If that person happens to think that way, he just happens to think that way. So now it's like the whole back in the day in the civil rights movie, the whole de facto, de jure. I don't even know if I said that right, but one was put in place, the other one was just kind of like everyone knew that was kind of it. So think about it, and I get it. Listen, we're liberals ourselves. We enjoy things, and if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'm okay with it, but it no longer is at that point.
No, well, the thing about extreme left, extreme right is not good.
No.
We should all kind of strive for the middle somewhere, because that's where we can all find common ground. And the thing is that people these days are going to both extremes, especially to the left these days here in America.
Yeah.
And we need to be careful with that, because going back to the whole illegal alien term, that's what the law says. Someone who crosses the border who is not a citizen or resident of the United States of America is considered an illegal alien.
Yeah.
You study the etymology of it.
As if we crossed over to Canada, as if we crossed over to a different country that's not our illegally.
Yeah, and I was an illegal alien at one point.
You were.
And do I feel offended? No, I was an illegal alien. Yeah.
That's what the terminology said. Yeah.
I mean, I should be saying this in camera, because then I won't be able to get my residency or citizenship. But I'll censor it. But anyway, but like I don't feel offended. People I know who are illegal aliens are not offended the fact that they are illegal. I mean, like, I think it's even like more of a bad term to say you have no papers. I think that's even more
Yeah,
like
that's more
worse
like demeaning.
than illegal
Yeah,
alien,
it's like,
right?
I'm an illegal alien. I'm sorry. No, but no, you're absolutely right, dude. I think it's like you got paid. Like that's like the whole. That's like a cringe kind of worthy kind of question when it's
Right.
been brought up around me. I'm like, oh, or like I'm just like, that's more like it's more on the insult like kind of level to me. Whatever people see it differently, but yeah, you're right, dude. When words like that are being by law prohibited for us to use, then something's next. Something else is next. You know,
Right.
and
See, like, they do say that Trump got elected because of all this stuff, but again, it's not Trump who's causing any of this. It was just Trump was the effect of the more underlying, issues.
it's
Because you're starting to see that in different European countries too. Like they're starting to become very nationalistic because, again, like one side starts to push. Once it gets too heavy, then it goes to the other side, and that's just a natural progression of things. And again, like that's one of the issues that again is it's root the root causes are deeper than just what we're seeing now.
Right.
This is just a cause of deeper issues, and those are political and economic issues.
Yeah, no. I think going back to whoever's in office right now, yeah, I think those issues were already there. I think whether people were racist, people were racist. There's people. Listen, that yes, that's a fact. And I'm not gonna say people aren't racist. Yes, people are racist. But now to go to the point of anyone who doesn't agree with you is a racist and a Nazi and stuff like that, we're using these words very, very loosely to where they don't even almost have a meaning to them anymore. And obviously these words are horrific words, right? Like if you wanted to end somebody back then, you called them either racist or the Nazi word, and they were done. But now everyone's being called this for simply not having the same viewpoint.
We're probably being associated with racism,
and YouTube's probably gonna like alter the algorithms. Damn, I've had a couple, and I'm tired. But yeah, and next thing you know, we won't get we'll get shadow banned. We're gonna get shadow banned. That's probably what's been happening.
That's our goal.
That's our goal. Yeah. But realistically speaking, yeah, I know Trump seems like the representation of everything that's bad in this country. Well, that's just kind of what was already within the inner weaves of everything. And like you were just mentioning, it's just natural. There's always one side or another, and when one gets a little too much, it tends to go the other way. That's just the way the ocean works. That's just the way everything kind of else works. Pressure works. You guys understand that? Simple science stuff. So
simple science.
Yeah, simple science. That's it.
So anyway, yeah, dude. I mean, like, I don't know, man. I don't know where we're going. I guess that's part of why we started doing this too, because we also want to voice our views on all this shit. And again, I think a lot of people are somewhere in the middle. They just are afraid to speak up,
right.
Because the left is getting a little too strong and too aggressive and too, like too powerful in that sense that they are starting to censor shit. And again, like we just need to be careful with that because it's not
I think,
good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think going back to the whole YouTube thing, obviously being owned by Google, I think one of the higher personnel said, well, we're shadow banning, we're shutting that because it's hate speech. Like this is what it's come to. We because the election was won through Russian bots and all this stuff. They really think that. Then we have to do our part, and our part is shutting down hate speech. But man, what the hell does hate speech even mean, man? Literally, what does that mean? Somebody explain to me. I'm not that stupid in real life. Trust me, I know across the camera we might seem dumb. I'm not that dumb. But what really is hate speech? Go ahead.
If I disagree with you, that's hate speech. I don't like your beer, dude.
That's hate speech. Wait, what are you saying? Something? You know what I mean? Like, oh my goodness, man.
Everything's hate speech, man.
Everything is hate speech nowadays, man, and just
And racism and race, like we just talked about. But anyway, it's something we wanted to
get off our chest
because, yeah, especially the last couple of headlines that we saw on the whole illegal alien term and the whole Portland urinal thing. Urinals waste less water than
especially
toilets.
These waterless ones. Those are fantastic, but yeah.
So now, like, liberals are typically environmentalists as well.
That's a contradiction.
Yeah, like, yeah. So
that's an oxymoron.
What the hell?
Well, that's an oxymoron, and oxymoron is moron's part of the word, and that's exactly what's going on. So, but yeah. So you don't hear, again, just one final thought. We try not to do these ones where we just kind of rant and stuff, but every once in a while it's kind of an outlet, and hopefully some people out there are, kind of feel their way. And if you guys do, thank you guys. I appreciate it. If you guys don't, go eat a
And even if you guys disagree, leave a comment, tell us why you disagree, and give us
constructive feedback, please. Don't type "go drown in a gasoline full of pool" or "pool full of gasoline" and light yourself. That doesn't do anything. But if you guys think we can fix something or change something, I laugh. But yeah, just constructive criticism. Let's all get better. Let's all get better together.
Well, last thing before that, I just kind of remember Ellen DeGeneres was sitting. I don't know if you heard.
But my favorite president, George W. Bush.
And she got all this shit.
She did
for sitting next to him because she's a liberal, a lesbian liberal, and he's obviously a conservative Republican, right?
What did he say that if there was some legislature? I've been butchering the whole thing, but some law that was going to be.
You just came from the damn DC.
I did. That if there was some law that was going to be that prohibited gay marriages, he said something like, "Yeah, well, the foundation of this country." Like he gave a real, just kind of like conservative kind of thing.
Right.
And then Ellen DeGeneres is right next to him, but she's an ultra progressive, and it's like they were just sharing a life together. Oh God.
But I like her response to all these people that attacked her because of that. She was saying like, we all need to respect each other, and that includes everyone else.
I respect you for saying that.
Yeah, so because they're opposites doesn't mean that you should avoid people who disagree with you, because you and I disagree on things, and just because of that, like, where do you draw the line? Why can't we just all get together or get along, respect each other like we've been trying to tell?
It's crazy because real quick. Watch when these gay people, these trans, these queer, whatever, they start getting pushed out of the inner circle of the whole conservative. That's going to be a trip. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Watch Ellen DeGeneres, because she said this all get along. Like Rodney King, when he got beat, can we just all get along? That's basically what she said, right? Let's just all respect each other. Watch when they start getting pushed out the inner club, because you can't be with us. It's going to be fun. Stay tuned, because America's only getting better.
Anyway, yeah. So the last thing I just want to say, if you guys haven't seen, what the hell's his name? Comedy that we just watched?
Dave
Chappelle. Sticks and Stones. Watch it. It's kind of about what we just talked about right now. And he does make fun of the whole transgender stuff. Yeah, it's not politically correct, but that's why it's awesome.
The last thing we do it for, the politically correctness.
No, but I mean, he's being honest, and I love that shit, that when he's being honest, he's speaking his mind, he's speaking about, or calling out all this complete bullshit about, where society is with all this stuff. So, because of that, I definitely appreciated that. It wasn't like the most funniest thing I've seen from him, but I really appreciated the message he was trying to point, and it is still funny.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I mean, it's Dave Chappelle.
He's fucking the funniest man on earth, in my opinion.
So we're not racist because we like that.
We fucking love Dave Chappelle.
So anyway, I think that's it from me. I don't know what else you have.
That's it, and thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate it. And that's about it.
All right.
Thank you very much.